an officer is involved in a situation like this, the investigation is taken out of our hands and put in the authority of the district attorney's office. So the district attorney, in conjunction with the state police, are collecting all the evidence that's involved.
But y'all already put out half of a video. Where's the rest?
Let me finish. All right, let me finish, and you'll have an answer to that. Any decision to release any of the evidence is not made by me or members of this police department. It's made by the district attorney. I have no control over what he releases or doesn't release. Okay, at myself and the mayor's behest, he did release a portion of some of the body cam video, which he did yesterday. Okay, but we have to cooperate with his investigation. We're not doing the investigation. It's being done by the state police and the DA's office. And any release of any of the evidence has to come from the DA's office, not us.
Okay, I have a question. So, you said any video, you don't have no control over it, correct?
Other than turning everything, not only video, but any evidence that we have is turned over to the state police and the DA's office. As far as releasing it, that's up to the DA's office, not us.
So they were so quick to release Omar's video. You get what I'm saying? They were so quick to make him look bad, sound bad, and all types. So now that we want the truth, obviously you guys tried to show us the truth about Omar. You hold on. You released that video within 24 hours of what happened. So you're telling me you guys discriminate on what you want to release, basically. So it's basically on, like you said, the DA. So it's basically whatever he wants to release. That's what it is.
Well,
that's what it is.
You're talking about two drastically different situations here. Number one, the video with Omari was not released officially, and there is an investigation ongoing with that as well. Okay, and you can't compare the two because we're dealing with somebody who's dealing with a loss of life here. So the degrees of seriousness are a lot different, and the procedures involved are a lot different.
Correct.
When a police officer is involved in a deadly situation, the DA's office is tasked with investigating it and ultimately presenting the evidence to a grand jury who will determine whether the officer acted within the law or not. And that will happen at some point, but that won't happen for long.
So do you think your officers acted in the way of law?
I'm not gonna make.
I got a question. I got a son. I don't even know this young man. I have no affiliation with this young man at all. So I got a 22-year-old son. If he gets pulled over by Newburgh police and he's asked to put his hands up, and he puts his hands up, and the next question is, do you have any weapons on you? What's the process? What's the procedure at that point?
The procedure
if he does have a weapon, and he says, yes, I do have a weapon on me, what's the procedure from that point?
Well, good question. That is a good question. Well, I guess the question I'd ask you is, are we talking about a licensed weapon?
No, unlicensed weapon, licensed weapon, any weapon. They don't know whether it's licensed or not. They're not going to ask that. They're going to say, do you have a weapon? He says, yes, I do. Is he supposed to present that weapon to you, or is he supposed to keep his hands up and you release him from the weapon?
He's supposed to keep his hands up and comply whatever the officer.
So if the officer tells him to show me the weapon, isn't that a sign of threat? If you tell me to present my weapon to you and I reach for my weapon, isn't that a sign of threat? That would make no sense for an officer to tell a young man or anyone to present a weapon to them.
It sounds like you're talking about a specific situation.
I'm talking about a kid that gets pulled over in Newburgh. I'm talking about a young man that gets pulled over in Newburgh, and the officer asks him, do you have a weapon on you? He says, yes, I do. And he has his hands up. And the officer says, present that weapon to me. Now, that one officer might hear me, and I might hear him, but the other officers around didn't hear that. So they see me reaching for the weapon that I was instructed to present, and then I'm asking what's going to happen.
It sounds like you're referring to, you may be referring to this case. I don't know.
I don't know about this. I don't know this young man. My son told me that something happened to a young kid in Newburgh. I coach basketball. I know these kids from all over. So I'm asking you, wait. I want to hear the answer. What's the answer? What's the answer?
The answer is to comply with the
So he said take the weapon. If he says take the weapon out, I'm complying, correct?
If that's what he says.
And then I get shot? Because I reached for the weapon and somebody else felt threatened. I'm asking.
The procedure would not be for an officer to say present the weapon.
But if he did, because it happened.
I can't get at the if and this.
I'm asking you, what's the procedure? What's the procedure? What would happen? I get pulled over, they ask if I have a weapon, I say yes.
Hold on, time out.
Tell me what your procedure is.
I came out here today because I understand that you folks are concerned, right? Somebody lost their life. I understand that.
I want to know how
Upset.
somebody
You
else
lost
won't lose their life. So tell me what the procedure is if somebody pulls me over and they ask me if I have a weapon.
You comply with what the officer tells you to do. That's
Right.
what you do.
Could that compliance cost me my life?
Yeah.
See, it's easy for you to do that. I don't know if you have a son.
No, it's
I have
not
a
easy to do
son,
that.
and I know some of these women out here because I don't see enough men out here. I see a lot of women out here. So I'm a man representing my son and any man that ever coached underneath me or not. What would my son be? The best thing for him to do is to comply.
Correct.
If the officer says to reach and present him the weapon, would that be a smart issue? Would that be a smart thing to say?
That would not be protocol.
So that's not protocol.
It would be an officer. The officer would put something in place, whether it be through backup with another officer, to safely secure that weapon from that person.
Okay. So are your officers intimidated by the men that they see in these streets? Because that could cost my son his life. Are they nervous? I understand they got a hard job, all of those things, that the list of things that you guys got to go through. But we got kids out here, man. We got sons and nephews and daughters and fathers out here. So if you're nervous to work here, don't. You're gonna cost somebody their life. You're gonna cost somebody their life. If you don't understand the language that we talk and the way we move, this is not the place for you. If you don't know how we move, how we talk, how our mannerisms are, how we speak, how we talk to each other, this ain't the place for you. If you grew up somewhere else and then you come to Newburgh and you try to understand this, you got to take some time to get to know these people. You can't just think this ain't New York City, this is not somewhere. Some of you guys lived around here, or some of you never been around before. I don't know what happened to that. They turning this into a Gestapo type thing. You have to let the public know what the procedure is so things like this don't keep happening. It can't happen and then we react after. Let's be proactive. Let's not react after something like this happens. So I want to know what to tell my son. Listen to the police officer.
And when it comes to this situation,
right? Whatever he says to do, listen to him.
I would start with your son shouldn't be carrying a illegal
So you
firearm.
don't know if my son should be carrying a illegal weapon.
I'm just
You don't even
telling
know
you.
if my son is a police officer, correctional officer. You have no clue. So how are you presenting yourself?
You're presenting a situation to me,
Right.
And I'm giving you an answer. Okay.
You give me an answer what you
Because
think.
the first thing I said to you, are we talking about an illegal gun?
We're
or
talking
an
about a legal gun now.
And
We're
you
talking
said
about a legal gun.
a legal gun.
A legal gun.
Okay, well,
legal, certified.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Certified.
right.
to
So
carry.
your son should say, "Officer, I'm in possession of a licensed firearm,"
Right.
and he'll take it from there.
Will y'all be
Where's the
listening
permit?
that long
Where's the
for him to
gun?
say that? Will y'all be listening to that?
Absolutely
That's what I'm
not.
trying to say. We're being
Absolutely
realistic
not.
now. We're being realistic. You see somebody this skin tone and he says I have a legal weapon. Y'all not listening no more.
That he hit him in the head with the gun, and Channel 12 news said that he shot him in the arm. Which one is it? Because neither one of them said, no, neither one of them. I want to know which one is
I
it.
can't control.
Where is the
I
officer?
can't control what the. I am not going to comment on specific to this.
Now you don't want to come out with the Pacific.
I can't.
But y'all was just...
As far as what the news says, I don't know where they get their
Okay.
information from.
All right,
Sometimes.
so where's the cop now?
Hold on.
That's not up for discussion.
And they got suspended with pay, by the way.
Besides that point,
By the way,
besides
they're
that
getting
point, I
paid
believe.
for killing somebody.
Okay, hold on. I believe in this situation, the reason why most people are very aggressive with it is because, for one, there are police from here who know certain people and know how to address certain people. There's no police relationship with the community. You guys have seen these same people grow up here. Tyrell was approached
He nice.
because they said he was a suspect because of the night before shooting. He was approached. Now, when you approached him, whoever the police was, they were not supposed to approach a person who is supposed to be armed and dangerous, right or wrong. They were supposed to open up their car door, stand behind their car door, whether they wanted to pull their weapon out or not, until they told Tyrell, place your hands on the wall, presume your firearm. You are wanted for questioning whatever way it's supposed to be done. To sit here and approach somebody with a weapon, you already posing as a threat. Now, when the young man was in the barracks, the white young man, and we're going to say that, down in the barracks with a rifle and as many bullets as he had, and you guys recalled, he did not get pulled out of that car with force. There was only 3 cop cars because I was there, so yes, I do know. 3 cop cars. They did not go up to that man and they did not snatch him out the car. They did not go up to that man and that man did not open fire, and neither did Tyrell. Whether it got physical or not, that man was not shot and was not killed. So when you talk about being in Newburgh, there is multiracials, Puerto Rican, white, black, Hispanic, in any nature. They are to know how to address a person. You can't sit here and justify Tyrell had a gun. The meaning of the police approaching him was because he was a suspect who was supposedly armed and dangerous for the night before a shooting. They should know how to approach a person in that manner. They went to academy school to know that.
4 to 6 feet.
They knew how to approach him in that.
You're bringing up questions that obviously need to be answered.
And that's why the people are upset.
I get that. The specific questions about how he got approached, why he got approached, and the manner he got approached, that's all going to come out during the DA's investigation. And it's going to take time. It's going to take time. So there's a process in place. This is what the law is. Folks have to be patient. I understand a life was lost. I sympathize with that, and that's why I'm here on a Sunday addressing everybody and taking time away from my own family to speak to you folks about all this. I'm just talking. I understand that, and that's why I'm here. In any event, the investigation is going to take time.
It is.
What's that?
My brother is dead.
I understand that, and that's why I'm here.
So I got a question. So do you know, hold on, wait.
Get that.
So do you know, okay, I just got a question. Because obviously you're the chief. You had to ask some questions about the case, period. So my question is, was he a suspect, or did you guys just know that he had a gun? Like, did somebody tell you guys he had a gun, or was he just a suspect? Because he was just...
It was told in the press conference that was released by Torrance that he was a suspect in the night before a shooting.
Yes.
That is what was told.
No, let him answer the question.
We ain't gonna answer that.
I can't answer that because the only thing
So far.
right the only thing I can comment on is anything that the district attorney had released. That's up to him to do it, and he got some information out yesterday. I can't comment any further or get into it in any more detail than what he did yesterday. The rest of it will come out as time goes on.
Why was the guns in different colors on the pictures? One was silver and one was black.
Once again, that does go back to the images that were released, is what he's saying.
Okay, I'm just saying it online. You just asking
That wasn't no
me.
gun. That looked like a CD player or something. That wasn't no gun. That was not no
It
gun.
really wasn't.
It just needs to be a better relationship between
the
these
police
police
and
and
the
the community.
From
Getting
this-
out
from
there
this
giving
day
out hot
forward.
dogs is not is not helping.
Well, it do
Was it
help.
possible to release the video still?
It'd be good, but it doesn't help.
But
It
to
doesn't
get-
help. It
I
gets
can just
you.
let y'all know them burgers
Somebody
good.
hand on hand. You know what I'm saying? To go address the kids, address the adults, you know? What happened to that? I grew up in Newburgh. You know, we used to have where the police officers, hi, how you doing? How your family doing? We don't have that anymore.
sure can't.
I
We
mean,
can't even
You
come
have
see
certain ones that will speak to you.
And
Yes,
we
know-
can't even come. I'm sorry, go ahead.
We know you guys are afraid. We are afraid as well. Right.
All right, well,
We're all human.
just to comment on what you said about the community policing piece of it, right? I've been here 2 years. The first year I got here, we started a summer camp for the kids. We did that 2 years in a row, right in August. We did a week-long summer camp for kids. We started a cadet program. Now with this, besides, the coronavirus and all this going on, we had 19 police officer positions cut through this last budget. Our budget is tight. Our budget is tight, and there's certain things as far as community policing wise that I just can't do without people to do it with. Like I said, I got here at the end of February 2018. In August, we did a summer camp for the kids. We did one last year as well. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that again this year. So we did start doing things to start moving in the right direction.
Wait, I have a question for you.
We cannot hear him.
And this is for the community because I've been through it. So this is based off the community, like I said. So when somebody like me come down to you guys and say, someone is in front of my house selling drugs all night, right? Selling drugs, doing all types of stuff in front of my house. Me as the tenant come and tell you guys that 2 weeks later y'all busted in my house and got guns pointed to my kids. What I want to know from me, why? Like, why did that? That's why he turned his head, because he know exactly what I'm talking about. So why did that happen? Like, I came to you guys and I stopped him in his car and said, look, sir, where do I go to report people in front of my house selling drugs all night long? What do I do? He said, go to the police station and report it. I went down and reported. 2 weeks later, y'all busted in my house and got guns all up in my kid's face. What is that about?
All right, Tanisha.
What is that about? I'm just wondering, because this is about community.
That's why you have to
This
go
is
to
about
the city
community.
council meeting
I have.
and speak about this thing.
I have been.
If you guys don't come and speak
This
about
is where it starts, right here. This is where it starts. And if we can't trust them to protect and serve us, who do we go to? Who do we go to?
Wait, hold on, Paul.
Denise. His niece Desire.
All right. Why is there white police officers posting on Facebook how he's a dirtbag? And
That's a good question.
Hell? And white police officers.
There's a
from
whole
this
bunch.
police department, and they post it on Facebook. Why? How are y'all allowed to do that?
I can show you a post from you guys.
I haven't seen or heard about any posts made by any officers.
What will you do if you do see them?
On their personal Facebook pages. I have not seen or heard of any.
You have your family, your wives, and your cousins, your uncles.
Do you have something to say? Because we're going to leave. You got something to say?
Are you the police chief of Monticello as well?
Why the police stations don't reflect the people that's out here? You got one black man.
Okay, are you addressing that to the community, or are you addressing it to the chief?
Police.
To the chief.
I'm not even.
Not to the police, to the
I
chief.
have another question. Was an informant, did an informant tell you guys that he had a gun?
I can't get.
Of course you can.
Okay.
So what
Of
can
course
you
you can.
tell us?
Of course. So yeah, why did you come out here? What can you tell us? What can you tell us? What did you come out here
They
for?
wasn't scared because they saw
None of our questions has been answered since you got out
They
here.
gotta
None of
be
them.
answered. I don't. First of all, yeah, they
Why
have.
you keep saying
No,
that
you
you don't
haven't.
know? What do you do know? What do you know?
Nothing.
All you know
doesn't
is
know
that my
anything.
brother is dead. That's the only thing you know.
I
And
can't-
you probably, because your family, you came from your family. What you think we doing?
I
And you
came-
still getting
Morning.
I came
That's
out of
why
here.
we here right now
No,
in
you're
the
not letting me
rain
talk.
and the pouring down cold.
I am also.
It's cold.
I came
It's
out here.
just
I
started.
came out
Come
here.
on. They wasn't too scared. They wasn't. The gun was down here.
I came out
Then
here
he
as
shoot
a
him in the
courtesy to
shoulder
you
or he
folks.
hit him in the head.
Okay,
That's all
appreciate
we
this
wanna
little
know.
baby.
Officer Solomon, have you killed a black person before?
If a white, no, not to be racist or something. If a white dude was riding a motorcycle, would you shoot him?
I want to know because it's not for this show.
No, that's what they see. Our babies see what you guys are doing to us. You see that? You see that? Our babies got questioned. Why are you shooting us? What did we do? We're trying to live just like you. We're trying to eat just like you. Like what? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to us? Why do we have to grieve another one of ours? Because you guys are inconsiderate. That's inconsiderate. That's not fair to us. That's not fair. And you guys looking like you guys don't give a fuck, and you don't. And it's okay. But it's okay, you big fat head. No. He's looking at me like he's intimidating me. You're not intimidating me. You're not at all. You're not intimidating me at all. You're not intimidating me. None of them. Nobody. They didn't answer nothing. He didn't answer nothing. He didn't answer anything.
We're not doing this.
We're not doing this. He didn't answer anything. Nothing.
We're not doing this.
Nothing.
Let's go. Thank you. Let's go.
He didn't answer